Greetings, Arts Beatniks. It's the KC Arts Beat Report. I'm Patrick Neas. Thanks for joining me today. Today is a special show because we have a choral director who I don't think gets the attention he deserves. He has a wonderful Cathedral Schola, and they are going to be putting on a program of varied and absolutely beautiful choral music for Lent that we're going to tell you about. But first, I'd like to ask you to please subscribe to KC Arts Beat on YouTube, subscribe to our Substack, and follow us on Facebook. But right now, it's time to say hello to Mario Pearson, the director of music and principal organist at the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception. Mario, it's always so great to talk to you.
Good morning, Patrick. Thank you for the invitation. It's great, always great talking to you.
You always put on these wonderful seasonal programs for Advent and Lent where you just choose some exquisite pieces of music. I know you have another program like that scheduled for March 20th. Tell us about it, please.
Well, the concert is this Friday at the Cathedral, beginning at 7 p.m. And the concert will be started with some cello prelude, solemn cello music as prelude music to set the tone for the concert. And again, it's always a pleasure to share these programs with our wider community. And this year's Lenten concert, features a lot of chant. In fact, we start out with two chant pieces that will be sung starting at different parts of the cathedral. So the women will begin with the Hildegard von Bingen chant at the cathedral main entrance, and then the men at the opposite end of cathedral will sing the beautiful Gregorian chant Christus factus est. But the Hildegard von Bingen, it's called in Evangelium, which is also known as O Ruber, which translated O blood's blush, you that flowed from the highest one and touched our divinity. And of course, the Christus factus est is Christ became obedient. So we'll start out with just those sounds echoing in the cathedral, and then that will be immediately followed by, a cello solo to sort of echo what the singers just performed.
Well, then,
And
Mario, before we go any further, why don't we give people a chance to hear an example of the beautiful music your choir produces with that first piece? Could you tell us who performs this here?
yes, the Hildegard von Bingen piece will be performed by the women of the Schola, and it's led by soloist, very talented Lyra Pherigo, and she just does a beautiful job on that piece. And I know that the audience will be drawn into the Lenten theme of the concert with that piece.
Well, that was absolutely beautiful, Mario. Again, tell us who the soloist on that was.
The soloist is one of our sopranos who's been with the Schola for over 10 years, Lyra Pherigo, who's not only an excellent singer, she's also a terrific flautist. And she regularly performs with her husband, Robert Pherigo. He's a brilliant pianist. So we're very fortunate to have such talented people, in our Schola and also working in other parts of our community, as many of our Schola members do. They sing in several ensembles and, as group singers, choral singers, and also as soloists. Um, and we're just very happy to have them at the Cathedral.
Great. Well, let's move on with the after that opening section. Then tell us about the pieces that follow that cello solo.
Yeah, then we continue with some of the Renaissance pieces. We're doing the Kyrie eleison by Victoria, and then followed by Duarte Lobo's Pata Peccavi, translated Father, I've sinned against heaven and before you. And then we changed things a little up, again, focusing on the flowing theme throughout the program. I don't know if your listeners know, but I was born and raised in South Africa, so I always try to include some music from my homeland. And this piece called Sen Zenina, translated, what is the Zulu word for what have we done? And we have a terrific young soloist, Anthony Bellin, who's a college student from Manhattan, Kansas. And if you have a moment, I can give you a quick story of how I met Anthony. He and his family attended Mass at the Cathedral probably about a year or so ago, and he came up and complimented me on my organ playing. And of course, my curiosity always gets the better of me. I said, "So what do you do? What?" He says, "Oh, I'm a vocal major at I can't remember the college he's studying, but it's in Manhattan, Kansas, whatever college is there." And so I says, "Well, would you mind singing something for me?" And my gosh, he just had a tenor voice that was just booming in this small body. And I invited him to audition for the group. And of course, we hired him. And he's just a terrific person and a very talented singer. Next on the program, we return to the High Renaissance with Robert White's Christe qui lux esse dies, Christ who art the light of day. And just the whole, and the thing that I particularly like about this piece, again, which is very much in line with Palestrina's, where you might have a chant and then you have this choral polyphony that follows. But just the structure of this piece is just absolutely beautiful. And that piece will be followed by John Tavener's Song for Athene. I think your listeners may remember how it rose to fame because it was performed at the funeral of Princess Diana after she was tragically killed in a car accident. And it's just such a plaintive and deeply moving piece. Um, and again, it includes the word Alleluia, as you may know. In Catholic liturgy, Alleluias are silent until Easter, but it is still common in Eastern Orthodox liturgy. And of course, I want to be true to that context, and so we are, and I do make a note of that in the program, that the Alleluia is appropriate because again, it's that resplendent joy that you experience during the Easter season. And then that will be followed by Miserere Nostri, Have Mercy on Us by Thomas Tallis. Again, this is like a 7, 8 part piece. And to my ear, it sort of has some of those because of the harmonic structures in it, his famous piece Spem in Alium. and this piece sort of harkens some of those harmonic structures to it. And with the choir singing straight tone and having those sounds just emanate in the cathedral, it's just a lovely, lovely, lovely experience. And then we continue with Allegri's Adoremus in Aeternum, bring all praise and adoration, and then focusing on, moving away from, Christ as, our sacrifice and our Savior and having mercy on us. We also have to recognize the role of evil in the world, and which sadly we note a lot of these days. So we're doing a piece by Jorge Orban called Daemon ireput calidus. It says the devil speaks expertly, and it's just you can almost hear the different sections of the choir with the rhythm just fighting against each other, trying to, and then trying to make its point, and then each of the different sections of the choir, sings this beautiful melody that's sort of a counterpoint to all of this seeming chaos that's happening in the piece, and I don't know how often this piece is performed, but it's a very exciting piece, and the rhythms are just incredible. It's a very challenging piece, but the Schola is doing a great job with that. And then the two remaining pieces on the program are two spirituals. Uh, saying, okay, now we've spoken about all the good and Christ being obedient and Father forgiving our sinfulness. Then we hear about the devil in the Demoni Repit, and then the last two pieces, sort of bring the theme to a conclusion with servanthood. We're doing Daniel, Servant of the Lord by African American composer Undine Moore. And our soloists are bass John Ross and excellent tenor Isaac Emery. And then we close with Moses Hogan's spiritual called I'm Going to Sing Till the Spirit Moves in My Heart. So we go from this whole mystical concept at the beginning and chant thing to challenging our thinking about things and becoming servants to the world and to each other, and then with hope at the end that says, "Yes, I'm going to sing. I've been moved. I have been challenged by all of this, and I'm going to sing until the Spirit moves in my heart." And that's how we conclude the program.
Wow. Well, as I said, you always choose exquisite pieces of music and you perform them exquisitely too. If you haven't heard of Mario Pearson's Cathedral Schola at Immaculate Conception, you love choral music, you really have to attend this concert. March 20th, 7 p.m. at the Cathedral. And you have a name for this program, right, Mario?
Yes, it's called Interlude in the Desert. And again, the whole theme of Lent, it's, scripturally based, where Jesus fasted in the desert for 40 days. And, so we sort of go on that theme of taking a break and sort of in that fast, we feast in the beauty that we can become. So that's really both the theological and the musical theme that we try to express in this annual concert.
Yeah, your concerts are more than just concerts. They're actually spiritual for those who, celebrate these things. Great preparation for the Easter holiday, too. Now, Mario, is there a cost for this concert and how do people get tickets?
Yes, tickets are available on Eventbrite, and there are three tiers of tickets ranging from $10 to $30. But I want your listeners to know if money is a problem for you, please come as our guest. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring those in your neighborhood or your church communities. We want you to experience the beauty of the music in a beautiful space. We don't want money to be a pediment to your attending the concert. So please join us. The only pain you'll have may be finding parking because, as you know, downtown parking is always a challenge, but we would certainly love to see you at the concert on Friday.
Mario, it's always a pleasure talking to you, and it's always a pleasure hearing your Schola. So thank you so much for sharing with us this information about this great concert.
Thank you. I also want to mention that we have an outstanding cellist. His name is Nikita Korzukim. I'm probably mispronouncing his last name, but I have the pleasure of working with him on some cathedral events, and he's a Russian cellist who's studying at Park University. He's pursuing a master's degree there, and so he'll be performing some prelude music on the program, and also some cello solos during the program. And so it's going to be an exciting evening, and I hope everyone will attend.
Well, thanks again, Mario. You've been listening to the KC Arts Beat Report. Again, please share this video with someone you know who loves great choral music, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our Substack, and follow us on Facebook. Mario Pearson, once again, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're very welcome, Patrick. It's been my pleasure.